We're in the middle of the longest run without Marvel Studios content in the past decade, but the wait is almost over, and there are dozens of new titles on the way. What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here to run through the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we gear up to go back to theaters for the first time in months, and the first MCU title in so long is inching closer and closer. You can almost taste it. By the time you're watching this, maybe those dates have shifted again. This year has been unpredictable. So as of August 2020, we're going to run through every single title Marvel has confirmed on their release schedule, and even some of the rumors. You might learn a thing or two. First of all, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to be releasing its first episode by now. The Sam Bucky content would be so real, we'd be loving it. But the show hasn't been able to finish production just yet. It's TBD on this Disney Plus series for the time being, and all of them really. So we're going to speculate a bit for now on when all of those titles will drop. Speaking of dropping, Black Widow is scheduled for November 6th, and it seems like a somewhat safe bet that this movie could really come out on that date. Disney is testing the waters with New Mutants at the end of this month, but if things don't go terribly wrong and theaters are able to stay open, there's no doubt they really do want Black Widow to make money soon, because delaying Black Widow further means delaying everything else further, and it's definitely been a tough few months for Disney. Don't forget, they just recently spent $70 billion to buy Fox, and they haven't been able to make much money this year. WandaVision should be hitting Disney Plus in December. There's a bit of additional production they have to get to before it's 100% ready to bust the MCU's multiverse wide open, but Scarlet Witch and Vision should be on our small screens with new content before this year is over, and they will be bringing some surprising familiar faces with them. I won't say more than that. Moving on to 2021, Eternals is slated for theaters on February 12th. This is going to change the MCU by rewriting its history a little bit, seeing as this group is eternal. So Salma Hayek, Richard Madden, Angelina Jolie, the super sexy Kumail Nanjiani, don't act like you didn't see his Marvel workout pics. A lot of this movie is going to take place in a time period which we haven't explored yet, and that could really change our perspective on the MCU's history. Plus, we're getting Celestials. Early 2021 will also probably see Disney Plus get some really exciting content. The animated series What If and the Loki series should both be arriving somewhere in this time frame for their first seasons, before probably coming back in 2022 or 2023 for their second seasons. On March 19th, Sony is releasing Morbius, which Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige don't technically have a hand in, but it's clearly trying to at least act like it operates in the MCU. When you look at the Spider-Man image with murderer graffiti on it after Peter Parker was framed by Mysterio in the MCU, and Michael Keaton is playing his Adrian Toomes aka Vulture part in this movie. In May of 2021, we get ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Simu Liu and company have been hard at work on finishing this movie in Australia this year, bringing Shang-Chi to the big screen for the first time ever, and also finally revealing the real Mandarin after Iron Man 3 cheated us out of a comic book accurate version. Who knows, maybe Tony Stark created yet another villain, considering we're diving into the Ten Rings group and they were super present in Iron Man 1. Another Sony Marvel movie drops in the form of Venom, Let There Be Carnage on June 25th of 2021. This one brings back Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, and there's been plenty of rumors that Tom Holland's Peter Parker plays a role somewhere in this film. Not sure if that's true or not just yet, but Sony seems to have something up the old sleeve for their Spider-Verse plans. After Venom 2, we get a long gap between Marvel movies, but Disney Plus should be coming in with hot titles like Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and Moon Knight, but we don't know what order those will debut in, and we don't have exact dates just yet. On December 17th, 2021, Marvel Studios and Sony team up to release a third Spider-Man movie. The rumor is that it's called SpiderMan Homesick, but we're pretty much all so sick of being home that I kind of hope that isn't the title. Either way, it's going to follow up the events from Far From Home. Peter might be on the run or in hiding with his identity revealed, and we expect Kraven the Hunter to be the villain of some sort and be chasing down Spidey. On February 11th, 2022, we get Thor Love and Thunder, which not only brings back Natalie Portman to pull off the Jane Foster becoming Thor story from the comics, but will also feature some of the Guardians of the Galaxy. We last saw Thor on a ship with Peter Quill and the gang, and when I talked to Vin Diesel, the voice of Groot, he told me Taika Waititi told him there are plans to incorporate the Space Misfits into Thor 4. March 25th, 2022, we get Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness from original Spider-Man trilogy director Sam Raimi. This one brings Elizabeth Olsen straight from WandaVision back into the MCU as a fully realized Scarlet Witch, and could be a major game changer for the MCU as a whole, because it's really diving into the multiverse of it all, and will also incorporate some genuinely scary horror elements. On May 6th, 2022, we go back to Wakanda for Black Panther Panther 2, and we know pretty much nothing about this one, but fingers crossed we see Namor as a villain. On July 8th, 2022, the date furthest out with a title on Marvel's schedule, we get Captain Marvel 2 with a brand new director in the form of Candyman's Nia DaCosta. Brie Larson returns, it's supposedly set in the present day, and the internet rumor mill expects Nick Fury's sword from the post-credit scene of Far From Home to come into play, and Richard Rider's Nova might just be introduced. Somewhere down the line, we're getting a third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but director James Gunn has to finish everything on the Suicide Squad first. Ant-Man 3 is on the way, and I really hope it's Ant-Man and the Young Avengers, and the villain is MODOK. That would be really cool. The Fantastic Four are due for a reboot, and the X-Men should be bringing the mutant gene into the MCU sometime soon. And Sony Marvel has Spider-Woman and Kraven the Hunter movies on the way, but no word on when we should expect those. Oh, and Mahershala Ali, by the way, he's still playing Blade. My bet he's debuting in another movie before we get a Blade solo film in 2023. If you could watch any one of these Marvel titles tomorrow, which one would it be? Share your thoughts in the comments or send them my way on Instagram at BrandonDavisPD, and head over to Comicbook.com/Marvel for more updates. I'm BD, I'll see you there.